today I'm hopefully going to make some progress on old Merv here. Now, the first thing I'm going to be doing is actually installing the fuel pump. Now, I'm going mechanical to keep it simple, but if you recall, I actually sure talked about getting a mechanical fuel pump with this truck. He had it with the truck. Of course, when he got the engine, he got it as is from a friend of his. Well, looking at it, there's no fuel pump rod and no mechanical fuel pump plate on it. There's just a block-off plate. Luckily, I had a friend of mine who had just those parts laying around that I needed, so now I got those, and I can go ahead and install the fuel pump, which is a Carter Muscle Car Series fuel pump. Now, I've used these on quite a few different things, and they work very well. And I'm hoping it'll work very well on this as well. I don't see why it wouldn't. Now, the next step is the intake manifold. Now, I've selected an intake, and I'm hoping it does well with those 624 heads. And yes, I know they're not the best flowing, they're smog error, but you know what, some of the smog error heads weren't that bad. In fact, 882s are some of the best smog heads. They had good flow, low compression. Such as these 624s do have low compression. Now, I'm not sure if these are the truck heads or the Corvette heads. That I do not know. I'm not sure what size the valves are, but it could be 172s or it could be the 202 160s. I don't know, but you know what? Either way, it should be make enough. If it's a 172s, should have plenty of torque to move that truck, no problem. 202s, well, it's still a lightweight truck. It's going to move either way, and it being low compression, I think it's still going to keep that sleeper vibe whenever you pull up to a pump and you can basically throw any gas in it you want. But yes, the 624s are known for pre-detonation problems, heat, and a thin casting. Now, to try to help with that heat and prevent cracking, not only am I going to run a good cooling system and a 180-degree thermostat, but the intake I picked has rear water crossovers. And you know what? Here it is. Now, I'm not a fan of the air gaps, but the air gap already has the rear water crossovers built in, so I'm going to use them. Now, hopefully, what will happen is it'll help circulate the water from the back of the block and heads, and actually keep the heads a little bit cooler and help prevent pre-detonation, especially on the back cylinders. That's what I'm hoping for. And of course, you know what? It's going to look good. So, you know what? Let me just get to it. Now luckily, this is actually a 1-inch spacer on there, which is great. I was afraid it was going to be a carburetor adapter, but it's not. That's good. And it's already got this, so I can go ahead and put the fitting on the back. That way I can run the crankcase vapors here and the brake line, or the brake booster line, off the back of the carburetor, and have all the vacuum and everything I need. As you can see, old Merv has been dressed up a little bit under the hood. Plug wires are on. They're not the best fitting plug wires I've ever had. Not bad. Got them tidied up a little bit. Probably take some time a little bit later when I do a final cleanup of the engine. Tidy them up a little bit more, try to make them look a little bit neater. The air cleaner is actually hitting right here just a little bit. So to avoid from trying to take the spacer or the heat insulator gasket off, I'm going to go ahead and trim part of this back so the air cleaner will fit. It has a cut the air cleaner stud to fit as well. That won't be a big issue. I'm going to try to avoid basically removing most of that, but if it comes down to it, you know, there's not much there, but I may be able to trim this down, this little ring down a hair, and see what happens. But of course there's still plumbing left to do, still some electrical, but you know, it is getting there. And before we know it, it'll be running on the road. So make sure you stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, thanks for watching.